All right, inside this box is where we decided to pivot because I wanted to order the 4100H 12MP, but because of the lead time that we have, it had us change directions. And so I got this FS switch, temporary stopgap to fix our problem. So now we have this FS switch. It's a 1 gig industrial switch, 8-port, layer 2, a managed switch, TFM, has the manual, got some hardware. I like that they add the little caps there for any unused ports. Got a console cable, and here is the switch. And I'm just curious if this will do what it needs to do for us temporarily until we get the Juniper EX4100 in place, but it looks like it will. Other than it's 8 ports, in some locations I need 12, but it is a DIN rail switch. It's already, the DIN rail adapter is already there. And so let's see if we can get this guy running. Right on the right, we have the EX4100H. It's the Juniper switch. On the left, we have our FS switch. And the differences that I'm looking for right now, just because this guy has a long lead time, I'm unable to get the number of units I need, whereas this guy is available right now. The difference is that this one fits in our enterprise network, the EX4100H. We use Juniper throughout. This one is going to be managed locally. Rack mount switches typically live in cleaner IT closets, but switches like this one, this industrial switch, this one can handle the environments. That one can handle dust, can handle the heat a lot better. And so as I connect these, making sure that there's no power coming out of here. Now, what I want to do is take this switch and be able to put it into the enclosure that's going to go outdoors. And because the switch that we want to use has a 135-day lead time, I had to go a different route. It's the same concepts of what we're going to do with the Juniper switch, but this time I'm just going to use the FS switch to get us by in this project. But I want to be sure I test it first before I purchase quite a few of these, and make sure we have a process lined up that is similar to how we would typically do it with the Juniper switch, but this time with the FS switch. And so now that I've got DC power coming from or connected to this UPS, I'm gonna plug it in and see what happens. Make sure it comes up properly, make sure that it could also be still operate while powering up PoE devices that's connected to the switch. And that's why we're going to use this instead of the Juniper EX4100H 12MP because of the long lead time. This one I can get in a few days. All right, this is my makeshift workbench. I have my UPS, my battery, and my industrial switch here. This is not how I would recommend you do it, especially when you're dealing with electrical wiring for DC power. I would really consult with a professional here. But my objective is to plug in the AC to DC power adapter, which is this guy here, to power up the UPS and also to power up the battery. I'm gonna plug this in and see how that goes. But we're not getting any power. So now I need to troubleshoot. All right, that didn't work. So it didn't go as I planned, but that's because I had made a huge miscalculation. This UPS by Eaton is a 24 volt output, and this FS switch is 48 to 54 volts input. So that means that the Eaton UPS is not enough power for the switch. It will not power it up. So I made a mistake there, somehow made a miscalculation. But luckily the Juniper PSU, the power supply unit, can do 54 volts out. What I can do is wire that up to this switch, which I already have. Now it'll be on the high range of the input requirements, but it should work. And so we'll try it out. We can see that we have some success here. You can see the UPS is now powered on. We have our battery backup. This is the Juniper PSU. It is getting 24 volts input. It can do 54 volts output, which is connected to the FS switch. And now the FS switch powered on. It did its power on self-test, and it has a P1 LED currently green, which means it has power.
When the gear you want isn't available, what do? Do you just delay the project, or do you wait?
Or do you act quickly and pivot? Maybe that's the way to go, trying to make things work, push the project along, because these switches are all layer 2. You might not have the convenience of managing them all in the single dashboard, but you should be able to log into each one individually and add the VLANs, get the switch operating the way it should be to get your PoE devices working quickly. All it comes down to for this in this environment is getting the power correctly, getting the right electrical wiring, and making sure that we have battery backup as well. Now the FS switch isn't replacing all of our switches. It's just a way for us to keep this project going, making sure that we meet our deadline that we have. And then eventually, once these Juniper EX switches come, we can replace them and get them up and running in our dashboard.